Malcolm, how are you feeling after your procedure?
Honestly, I feel just kind of jumbled.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited, but I feel like so much is unknown. And I'm honestly just kind of nervous to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're going to feel like that. It's definitely a new experience for you. But I'm really excited for your journey that you're about to have. I did want to let you know it is important to continue your adequate protein intake, as protein malnutrition is a complication with the procedure, okay? Along with some deficiencies, although you have a low risk of vitamin deficiency, it's still important that you're implementing those. Now, your procedure should help lower any low back pain and prevent risks of degenerative disc disease and joint disease that you've been experiencing. But I will say that our risk of the gastric banding procedure can cause that nausea, that vomiting, heartburn, and abdominal pain. So just remember those can be side effects of the procedure, but don't be alarmed. We're going to make sure that you are in good hands and that you're being taken care of and that you have the necessary support resources to make sure that your journey is the best that it possibly can be. Now, I first want to applaud you for the success that you had in your pre-op weight loss with dietary adjustments. How did you feel with your changes you made and the results?
I felt really good after, but I will say, like, I really love like breads and like having like different flavors on my plate, and the like high protein was something that I struggled with, but I really have struggled with like seeing results, and it felt good to at least know that like it worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Now just remember, it is going to be a part of this journey. So even though you have the procedure, changing those diet pieces are still going to be super important in making sure that you are maintaining that weight loss and continuing on that lifestyle, okay?
Sounds good.
Perfect. Now, what did you feel was different from this experience from your previous steps?
I think just like knowing that it kind of felt like my last straw, like this was really what I needed to do to make it happen, and like it kind of pushed me to just like not just do what I wanted to do and like take out what I like and what I don't like. Like I just put my head down and just did it, and although I struggled a little bit with like enjoying the process, I feel a lot more motivated now that I actually saw the results.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I did learn that you have 2 kiddos at home. Now, what is something that has motivated you? Are they your motivation to want to lose weight? I know that you've been experiencing this for a really long time. Are they your motivation, or what has been your motivation to lose weight?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even though they're young, they're only like 4 and 2. They're starting to get to an age where they want to play a lot more outside and do things, and sometimes because of my weight, I either have too much like back pain, or I just feel like I can't do things with them that long, and sometimes I have to come up with an excuse, and they don't really understand that I struggle with like being able to do that with them. So yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely a big part of why I want to make this change.
Absolutely. Little kids are very energetic, and they don't understand or comprehend a lot of the things that us as adults go through. I can only imagine what that experience was like. But also, I can't even imagine how you were feeling when your kids are wanting to do things with you and you're not feeling like you're up to it or that you're able to. So I think that this is definitely a great step towards that. Now, how are you feeling currently after your surgery, and kind of with that motivation? Do you feel like you're taking that step to then be able to run around with your littles?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident, feeling like I can accomplish a goal, and I think that keeping them like in my mind and just like keeping them to motivate me will help me, and hopefully set a good example to be able to tell them one day of like what I was able to accomplish.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, you were able to do it before the procedure, and I think that's something that you're definitely going to be able to maintain. And it sounds like you have that motivation and that willingness to want to continue on that journey, which again is going to be super important to make sure that you're maintaining what the procedure did for you. Okay. Now, what makes you most excited about the future with your weight loss journey? Again, we talked about being able to play with your kids. Do you have any other, things that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just struggled with this for so long, and it just kind of has felt like always a part of my identity, but being like on this side of it, it's like I might actually be able to do things I never thought that I could, or that I was too scared to. So I think that's kind of pushing me to feel some excitement about like what I could do in the future.
Absolutely. Now, if we're talking about things that you haven't been able to do in the past or things that you're wanting to do in the future, what is something that you've, had a goal or had a change that you wanted to make?
Yeah, like I love walking, and we also have a dog, and I think it would be really fun to be able to go on a walk with the dog rather than feeling like I make excuses or like my back hurts middle of the way, and being able to just feel like I can set my mind to do something and actually do it without feeling like something's always going to happen that makes me not able to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like food has been a hindrance? And if so, like why?
I feel like food has just been something that it doesn't take a lot for me to like indulge in or like
Yeah.
be able to experience it. So sometimes when I can't walk or I can't like get out of bed without feeling pain, it's like I can just lay down or just sit down and like enjoy a food and feel some sort of like positive like feeling about it.
Absolutely.
But I feel like what I learned in this like diet situation was that sometimes sacrificing certain things lets me enjoy other results and things, and yeah, I just am looking forward to being more creative in that way so that I can try to enjoy both.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know you're talking about being more creative and actually enjoying the process. What do you feel would be the best plan to reach those goals for yourself?
I think feel like getting more insight on like what are my options when it comes to the protein. I feel like I just was, finding what was affordable or just trying to like eat a lot of the protein, and I really have only ever used like chicken or meats, and I feel like although I did have results, it didn't always make me feel that great from like how did my food taste?
Yeah.
Of like making it different each time. So I feel like if there was a way for me to just have insight or like a list of options I could shop for, I think maybe
absolutely
that's something that could work for me.
Absolutely, and we can definitely discuss that further in detail, whether it's how we cook things or the different types of seasonings that are still going to fall under the category of kind of those dietary needs, as well as kind of creating different ways to implement them, different ways to cook them, and different options that maybe you haven't explored yet. I know that proteins are sometimes one of the harder things to implement into your diet because it's hard to reach certain goals for them. But we can definitely work on that with you just in regards to creating a plan, as well as finding different recipe options for you that are going to work the best and different suggestions that are going to work the best to make sure that you're continuing to get that high lean protein diet, as well as making sure that we're consistently staying with that low fat, avoiding those simple sugars. And one thing I definitely recommend, and this might make it a little bit easier for you to kind of get variety throughout the day in that protein intake, would be eating 6 small meals rather than eating three large ones, breaking it down into 6 small ones. That way you're going to get variety throughout the day in your protein. So maybe for breakfast you're eating some eggs, and then for lunch maybe it's lean turkey, but then still being able to have that another option for protein throughout the day rather than feeling like, okay, I ate chicken and I ate chicken again. I know it can be kind of tedious and kind of boring, and that's a lot of times where we struggle, is not being able to kind of get that variety like you had mentioned. Another thing would also be to make sure we're getting proper iron, calcium, and vitamin B12, because those are things that you can have deficiencies in post-procedure. Okay?
Sounds good.
Perfect.